Whether it's getting picked last to play dodgeball in high school, or getting rejected by your crush, or not getting invited to a social event, we can all agree that rejection sucks, and it can contribute to depressed moods, self-isolation, and low self-esteem. The more we get rejected over the years, we develop defense mechanisms on how to deal with it so that the pain doesn't really sting that hard. Unfortunately, some of us have had a harder time dealing with rejection than others. Have you guys ever heard of Rejection Sensitive Dysphoria, also known as RSD? In brief, it's actually not a medical diagnosis, but a way of describing certain symptoms associated with ADHD. So dysphoria comes from a Greek word that means hard to bear. People who have RSD don't handle rejection well. They get very upset if they think someone has shunned or criticized them, even if that's not the case. Up to 99% of teens and adults with ADHD are more sensitive than usual to rejection, and nearly 1 in 3 say it's the hardest part of living with ADHD. People with RSD may get very angry or have an emotional outburst when they feel like someone has hurt or rejected them, have low self-esteem, feel anxious, especially in social settings, stay away from social situations and withdraw from other people, and feel like a failure because they haven't lived up to other people's expectations. So, how can RSD affect our lives? People who have the condition sometimes work hard to make everyone like them and admire them. Or they may stop trying and stay out of any situation where they might get hurt. This social withdrawal can look like social phobia, which is a serious fear of being embarrassed in public. RSD can affect relationships with family, friends, a romantic partner. The belief that you're being rejected can turn into a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you act differently toward the person you think has rejected you, they may begin to do so for real. Some of these symptoms are also common in other mental health conditions. RSD can be confused with bipolar disorder, borderline personality disorder, and PTSD and depression. One difference is that RSD episodes are intense, but don't last very long. Because RSD can look like other mental health disorders, it's important to get the right diagnosis. If you have ADHD and you have any of these symptoms, see a psychologist, counselor, or other mental health provider for help. What causes RSD? Doctors believe gene changes that are passed down through families cause RSD. Serious trauma like abuse or neglect can make the symptoms worse. When you have ADHD, your nervous system overreacts to things from the outside world. Any sense of rejection can set off your stress response and cause an emotional reaction that's much more extreme than usual. Sometimes the criticism or rejection is imagined, but not always. ADHD researchers estimate that by age 12, children with ADHD get 20,000 more negative messages about themselves than any other kid their age. All that criticism can take a real toll on their self-esteem. How is RSD treated? A therapist can help you learn how to handle your emotions and deal with rejection in a more positive way. Another way to deal with RSD is to manage the stress in your life. You're more likely to have an emotional breakdown when you're stressed out. Eat right, sleep well, and do the things like yoga or meditation to keep your mind calm. Finally, see a doctor, because if you find that lifestyle modifications haven't helped, they may consider starting you on medication. It's important to make sure that other health conditions aren't contributing to your symptoms before you are started on medication. That's it for today, guys. Who knew rejection sensitive dysphoria could be such an interesting topic? Out of curiosity, I'm interested to see if you guys knew anything about RSD prior to this video. Please leave a comment with your thoughts on RSD or anything that stood out to you. Make sure to like and subscribe to get more of this content, and as always, we'll see you guys next Sunday. Have a great week.